Now, Cuba shows how a sudden drop in international visitors can hurt the local economy. And a new report says relying on just domestic visitors can be risky as well. The report is from the World Travel and Tourism Council, the WTTC, and they say it's important for destinations to diversify. Let's take, for example, Orlando. 87% come from the domestic US, 13% are international. In Bangkok in Thailand, it's the other way around. 80% are international, only 18 are coming from within Thailand. And put it in the middle, and you've got a destination that's beautifully balanced. 55% of tourists are domestic and 45% international. By the way, of course, if you're looking at the spend, that's very different. Then you've got the internationals way ahead in the amount that they actually spend on hotels, theatres, meals out than the domestics. Gloria Guevara is the president and CEO of the WTTC. She told me earlier why cities should aim for balance between two types of visitors.
If you're not very well balanced, what happens if you depend only on domestic or international, when you have a situation and you are not prepared to deal with that situation, it's a greater impact in the contribution from travel and tourism. And that's significant.
So, Charles, what sort of places are we thinking of?
Well, we can think about many places. For instance, we can talk about London in the case of the uncertainty that is going on because of Brexit, unfortunately. 85% of the contribution in London is from international arrivals or international travelers, and 15% is domestic. And because of the uncertainty, we have seen a decrease in growth in general. Now, at the same time, we can see Paris, another city that has a higher contribution in international spend. As I mentioned, Hong Kong before. And then the opposite as well.
Hong Kong's an interesting one at the moment, isn't it? Because for what we're seeing with the Hong Kong numbers, they are just going down.
Yes, absolutely. The number of international visitors is going down. And because their dependency of international travelers is pretty high, as I say, 80% of the total is significant.
What can a city do about it, though? Because if that's the way the makeup of your city is, how easy is it to suddenly attract other people? Let's take, I know because I saw it in your notes, Orlando, which is 85% domestic, US domestic, 15% international. Is it that easy to do that?
Well, it's not that easy, but you need to have a plan for that. If you have a plan that it will take you to have that 50-50 balance, you're much prepared. You need to be prepared for any situation, and that's something that the cities have to consider because they can have a crisis tomorrow or a situation anytime.
So if you are heavy on international, give me an example of a city heavy on international, low on domestic. What would a good city be?
Like, for instance, like London, Paris, Hong Kong, 85% international,
how easy is it?
15% domestic. They need to figure out how to increase the domestic contribution, the travelers of domestic, and balance that out. And at the same time, the internationals, they need to look at the different nationalities that they have. So that how they balance that. Are they depending only on Europeans? Are they depending on long hauls? Where are the dependencies? So that you have not only 50-50 domestic, international, but the international also has a good proportion from different nationalities. It's not easy, but if you don't have a plan for that, how are you going to achieve that? And what we see many times, cities are not that well prepared.